Hello, and welcome to our Artsphere Inc. presentation. I am Alexis. I am a Drexel co-op student, and at ASI, I am a project manager.
Hello, my name is Caleb Matu. I'm a Drexel co-op student, and I'm working at ASI as a web designer and developer.
Hi, I'm Jared. I'm also a Drexel co-op. I'm working as the media archivist and a video editor.
So here at ASI, we're a non-profit organization with the focus of allowing youth to creatively express themselves through the arts and other outlets. And we primarily serve the inner city youth of Philadelphia. And our goal with these potential future leaders is to basically educate them and inspire them to create a better tomorrow. And to do this, we want to encourage diversity. So we want to make sure everyone feels like they're a part of our mission, and to make sure we invite people from outside communities to take action in their own homes, and also create positive exposures to different cultures and ideas to expand our youth's understanding of the world. Another thing we want to do within ASI is to make sure we educate and inspire. So we want to provide interactive and fun tools for learning. We want to make sure we share stories of inspirational figures so they know what is possible. And we also want to teach enough to instill confidence for them to go on into the world on their own. And most importantly, from that, we want to make sure we teach them how to take action and solve real world problems. So we want to make sure we provide resources on how to start making changes, empower our students to do things that they feel is right for them and their community, and also feel like they're not held back by discouragement or feel like they can't accomplish something because they don't know something. So at ASI, we have multiple projects to achieve our goals. And some of the things we'd like to share with you guys is our Environmental Green Project, our Martin Luther King Day project event, as well as our States and World Map project. And the first major project we'd like to share with you guys that we've been leading is our Environmental Green Project, which is also known as our UPBEAT project, which basically stands for Urban Pollution Busters and Environmental Activisms with Teens. And the purpose of UPBEAT is to basically teach kids about environmental issues and how to combat its effects. So currently at ASI, we're promoting our online classes for students to take, and it's supposed to be an interactive classroom environment between real teachers and their students. And we want to give the students a voice to basically discuss different aspects of climate change and environmental injustice. And we want to make sure they know about activists who look like them and encourage them to lead in their own communities and to ensure that we provide them resources to do so. So within the online classes, they're going to be about 1 hour weekly discussions with multiple classes. And some of our teachers we have, for an example, one of them are teaching herbalism and healing and natural remedies. And some of the other discussion topics we'd like to talk about between the teachers and the students is things like environmental toxins, watershed pollution, air and carbon emissions, and also make sure to stress the positives so the students can take immediate action. So we want to talk about green building, recycling, protecting natural resources, and urban agriculture. And to basically supplement these online classes, this is where we have what we like to refer to as our Green Hub on the ASI website. So as you can see on the screen, it's divided up into different sections. And one of the big chunks is a section, Research Topics, which contains general information about the environmental green space, and a vocabulary section, just to get our students familiar with the terminology and green space as a whole. And another aspect of our environmental green section in the general section is our Inspirational Leaders. So it's divided basically up into two sections, and I was mainly responsible in leading the research team for the teen sections. And we wanted to make sure to showcase specifically a teen section to basically show the closest thing to our students. These are the kids, to show and share their attainable achievements to prove that you are capable of anything, and you shouldn't allow anybody to tell you that you're not, because that's clearly not true. And my favorite example within the teen section is Maria Copenny. And she is a water activist, primarily for the Flint, Michigan water crisis. If you can remember from that time, a lot of people were suffering from unclean water. Kids and families were suffering from things like lead poisoning. And she basically raised money and spread awareness about the issue to get it fixed. So she started this when she was 8, which is really, really young. And that's when she basically wrote a letter to President Obama about the Flint, Michigan water crisis. And she got to meet him. And she was also able to meet other major politicians, and she continues her mission today. So that kind of inspired us a little to talk about some of our different activism research and resources that other people can use, like writing a letter to a politician. And that's pretty much it for the general green section. Here we can move on to our next section within our UPBEAT project, which is the Philadelphia section, where I helped on leading the research teams and design pages and layouts for this section. So the purpose is to basically highlight the resources and issues locally in Philadelphia, because sometimes when we're talking about big issues like climate change, it can be really hard to take immediate action if it's not pinpointed to something that's close to home. So some of the sections within the Philadelphia, as you can see, is our highlighted issues page, which basically goes over some of the issues that Philadelphia suffers from. And then once they go over some of the issues, it provides immediate actions on how to combat it. So as you can see, the green roofs, you can start making green roofs to fight against urban pollution. And then also on the side, we provide outside resources to start working on projects to combat them. And then the next section within the Philadelphia green pages are our green organizations. So we want to provide, these are things as small as just green spaces to find somewhere to get fresh airs. These are also organizations that do community service, so then students can go there if they want to start their own projects, as well as also referring to some of our ASI partners, such as the John Hines Wildlife Center, so we can get more involved in a local sense. And then the last part of our Philadelphia Green section is basically our gardening section, which we're working on, which is designed to teach the fundamentals about indoor and outdoor gardening, and also teach students how to grow indigenous plants and take them through the growing process from start to finish. And within our UPBEAT program, I would say our last section is our arts activism page, where me and Caleb led the research and design pages for this section. So it kind of half ties into environmentalism itself and also ties into general activism. So you can use this strategy for both things. And the purpose of it is kind of like a do-it-yourself section, self-led projects. We want to make sure the students are equipped with tools to start their own adventures, exploring a problem that they want to solve. So the way it's structured on the website is that it's designed to guide the student from beginning to end on how to solve a problem. But the student's not really pressured to do that, and they're free to explore whatever they want to do. So if they want to jump all the way to the design section and learn how to make a poster, they can. But within the art activism page, it goes from top to bottom, with the first being grounding, which is basically helping our students become aware of themselves and their environment. And they have to take that first step in order to tackle the problem, because once they're aware, they can identify the problems that they want to solve and start writing down how to solve them. And then from the problem section, it goes into the research section, which is once you picked out your problem, you can start finding information about it and start answering different questions. And a follow-up from the research section is the data collection section. So it teaches you a different way to formulate and collect the information that you've been doing in the research process. And then you want to then lead into the design section to inform others about your discovery and to basically spread awareness about, the new knowledge you've gained about an issue. And that basically starts leading into changes, which goes into our enact section. And once you've learned things, you can start implementing what you would like to do to solve them. And once you start solving a problem, that finally concludes into our reflection section, which is basically where the student can go through the process, see what they liked, see what they think they could have improved on, take a step back and figure out what went on with the project, and potentially start over again to make improvements or do something new. And then at the bottom of our agents page is additional leaders to inspire and educate. So they feel like that they really can do it because so many people are doing it, so they shouldn't feel left out. And that's basically it for our big project, which is our UPBEAT project. And now we'd like to share with you guys our Mlk Day event project.
So with our Mlk Day of Service project, we on Mlk Day, we had a volunteer event in which volunteers signed up to research anyone that they found inspirational to them. And we had our writers and editors work on like formatting all the writing and everything. And then our web team people worked on uploading the pages and designing the pages as well. And with this page, we separated it into 3 different categories. So we have artists, musicians, and writers. And with this, we wanted to highlight, just people who are pioneers within their field that push the status quo and made discoveries and anything like that. And people that we want our young leaders to look at and say, like, hey, I want to be like this person. And one thing that I think is really special about this page is that, when I was in school, I didn't learn about like 95% of these people. So giving kids, the ability to see people who they might not have learned about in school that they can look up to and say like, oh, I want to be just like them or be even better. We're giving them the foundation for role models and what they want to do in life, which I think is really special. And going from there, I want to go to the states page, which I led with the help of Noah Bowden. And with this page, we just wanted to highlight, what made each state special. And I think one of the most important things about these pages is the inclusion of government officials. And I think that's important because our young leaders aren't of age to vote yet, and they don't really have too much of a say in politics yet. But eventually they're going to hit that age where they can vote and they can hold office and stuff like that. So giving them the foundations and like telling them who their governor is and like who their senators are and how many representatives are for their state and how is their state divided into congressional districts. That kind of stuff I think is very important because it just lays down the foundation for the basic knowledge of politics. And over time, whenever they reach that stage in life, we're putting them onto things that will help them later on in life. So one other state that I really wanted to highlight was Mississippi because of the state flag. And this state flag hasn't been officially named yet, but this is the proposed flag that's been voted to replace the old flag for Mississippi, which used to have a Confederate flag on it. And the reason why I wanted to put this flag instead of the other one was because I wanted to show that voting works and that these kids, whenever they reach that stage, they'll know that whenever they want to get something done politically, they can get it done. And this is a great way to highlight that. And going off of that, we have our passport page.
So the Passport Project is basically our world map project, and the purpose for it is to, again, educate and also promote diversity. We thought it was important to kind of step out of the United States because the US itself is such a small bubble within the entire world. So with the Passport Project, we wanted to create a kind of fun and interactive experience for learning geography in different cultures. And we wanted to include things like interesting facts, things like cultural holidays that are different from our own, and things like important landmarks like national parks. And through all this, we kind of wanted to find a way to transport the viewer to a different world without actually having them leave their computer so they can get that exposure to different things outside of themselves. And we also, again, with the diversity point, we want to make sure that other communities feel like they're heard and they're seen. Here at ASI, we do have a lot of volunteers and interns from different cultures. Them and their families may not be from the United States, but they're a part of ASI, and they should be appreciated for their uniqueness and individuality. And also, when we're trying to serve these students that are from Philadelphia, you got to remind them that Philadelphia is a multicultural area with so many different communities and different things that they should know about. And all of these things we feel should be celebrated and appreciated. And finally, we want to make sure the people that we're educating know about their own cultures. So people like African Americans or Latinos, they should know about the South American history, or they should know the beauty about different aspects of Africa. And we all kind of just wanted to bring all that information here with the Passport Project. And basically from all of these projects, we kind of want to conclude with our video resources and other things within ASI.
So yeah, one of the ways that we can create engagement with these different programs is through the videos that we post to our website as well as our social media, such as YouTube. An example is this video from the Mlk Day of Service, which features quotes from ASI staff and volunteers about what diversity means to them. Through this, we hoped to encourage people to engage with the website and the research and the resources there, but also to come and deal with some of the same questions that the volunteers were doing, like what does diversity mean to you, or what does it mean to carry on the legacy of Martin Luther King? And so with this, we're not just bringing people into the resources that we have so they can get more information, but inviting them to participate in the kind of work that we're doing as well. So there's a variety of different videos that we'll post that have to do with either education from our teachers, or they will be directing to particular parts of the website. But all of these really serve to equip our young leaders with the information and resources of things that they can do right now to make change, and also plays to get more information and to encourage other people to become leaders in their communities and to make a difference.
Thank you for watching our presentation.